You're watching the Chucktown Wind Report Tuesday night update for December the 1st. Let's talk about your winds and weather for the next couple of days and even take a peek into this weekend as air temperatures are going to drop and we're going to see some north to northeasterly winds building into the area for several days. So right now, looking at our surface map, we have a cold front to our west. It's going to be heading to our east. And right now we have a warm front to our south that will be heading to the north overnight. Now what that means is it'll give us another chance for some of that dense fog that we saw this morning where visibilities were under 1/4 of a mile. So be aware of that tomorrow morning if you get up to go to work or school or wherever it is you go. Know that we could have a very dense fog lying over the area. So this cold front's going to move through and probably pass through tomorrow night. And behind that we have a very large ridge of high pressure building down into the central United States. And then it's going to go here, and then also it's going to go up to our north. So depending on where the center of this high pressure goes, if it ends up over the Carolinas, we could have weaker winds. But if it goes to our north, up over Virginia, up into Pennsylvania and the northeastern United States, then we could be looking at some stronger northeast winds overall. So some of the models keep it a little further south, some keep it a little further north. We'll have to wait and watch and see what it does over the next couple of days. But for right now, let's take a look at our GRE on radar, and we see some of the rains moving into western South Carolina and staying up in the Appalachians as expected as well there. I see the cold front sort of tapering off a little bit along the tail end, so we're going to be stuck right around about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rain with this system. Not expecting very much. Let's take a look at the data scope for the Charleston area right now. We have very light northeasterly winds. We have 3 knots at the Isle of Palms Pier. We have 5 knots northeast at Folly Beach and 2 knots in the harbor, northeasterly winds. Not much going on. Very quiet night out there tonight. If you look at the details, I'm going to pull the details from Folly Beach, and here's where some of the models start to pick up. If we go back here to tonight and start running the models forward, we see the winds. Some of the models are saying the winds come up ahead of that cold front tomorrow. Now there is a chance to see some low teens southwesterly winds, but there's going to be a lot of cloud cover, so I'm not seeing very much coupling with the sea breeze to bring those speeds up. Plus we have marine layering to deal with, which tends to keep those speeds capped at 12 knots or below along the beaches. Could see some higher spikes in the harbor and inland, up into the mid, maybe even upper teens up near the airport, but not expecting much along the coastline. As we get into Thursday, we start to see those winds come in from the northwest and slowly clock over to the north, and then ultimately we go to the northeast on Friday and even into Saturday where the winds come up. Now if you look at the GFS modeling for the next 6 days out down here, we see the winds coming up to the upper, it's showing upper teens with gusting into the low 20s. But when we talk about a cool air flooding into the region and the high pressure center being further to the north, we could be talking 20 to 25 knots with gusting over 30 knots if the high pressure is strong enough to build into the area. So that's kind of what to look forward to. So as a recap for tomorrow, we're looking at south winds, low teens peaks, or southwesterly winds, low teens peaks. And then Thursday, we start to see a northwest to northeast, low to mid-teens, maybe some higher pulsing at first. And then we'll have to talk about the weekend a little bit more in detail in the next day or two. So I'll be back to do that either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. So thanks for watching. That'll do it for the Chucktown Wind Report. Have a good night.